Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Real Podcast. I'm your host, David Moya. The Real Podcast is about having in-depth conversations with leaders in the real estate industry. If you want to grow, expand, and become a master in the industry, you're in the right place. Today we have Dina and Tracy on the show. Thank you both for being on the show. You guys are such a dynamic duo.
How ironic that you say that, because that's what one of our clients coined us, the dynamic duo. That's really cute.
We were going to get capes and everything.
I wish we should have those.
I love it. You guys are not just a dynamic duo. You guys are successful at what you do. You guys were Rookie of the Years in Rookies of the Year in 2015. You guys are in the Hall of Fame at your brokerage, and tons of great value that you're going to add to our viewers today in terms of success, what you guys, have built your business on in terms of creating this solid foundation for your success. So real quick, if you can introduce yourselves, and then just how did you guys get started in real estate?
Got it. Yeah, well, I'm Dina Burlage, and years ago, I was working as an appraiser with an appraiser, and then kind of was doing stuff on my own. And the past 10, 15 years was working with my husband in the DVD and Blu-ray industry. So obviously that was kind of going away. So it was kind of a thing of, you know what, always wanted to get my real estate license. Let's do this. And then Tracy.
Simultaneously, actually, I had been thinking the same thing for quite some time. I wanted to get into this. And I was previously with one of the largest developers and commercial real estate brokers in the area in commercial property management for 13 years. And I was like, when my kids are teenagers, I'm going to do this. And fortunately, it was the same time as Dina. So we teamed up right then.
Nice. Now, let's talk a little bit about the relationship you guys have, just because I think it's so cool. It's unique. I think it really, once people know, they're like, oh, that's what you guys are, just this super cool dynamic duo.
Yeah, I'm married to Tracy's older brother, Troy. So we've been married for 25 years. So we've known each other for a long, long time. Actually, we look more like sisters than they do like brother and sister. Yeah. And so we've known each other for a long time and then worked together since 2015.
Yeah. Nice. And we definitely are happy to be doing this together because we tell each other constantly, if it wasn't for one another, I don't know. It's like so much more fun this way. We have way more fun this way. Totally.
Speaking of fun, I'm going to share just so people can understand the dynamics that exist, in your team here. So real quick, this is your Facebook page, and you guys have what's called a pool plunge. So anybody who's watching, they're choosing, they're excited. They're talking about, I think Dina's talking about, how exciting it's been. Then Tracy comes in and says something really unique and sweet as well. And then they literally jump in.
I think it tells the story that we're professionals and we do a really good job for our clients. But I'll tell you what, we like to have fun while doing it. So yeah, just letting our colors shine through.
Yeah, I think it makes the transaction just a lot more smoother and fun, and just getting the sellers and or buyers, through the transaction with a smile. There you have it.
Yeah. And we are like, goals, pool properties. Those are, bring them.
It's now part of our listing presentation. If you have a pool that, we
sign here.
We must jump in.
Yeah, you guys jumped in with your shoes, your dresses. I mean, that's commitment, your glasses. It's gotta be a fun moment for your sellers as well, right?
Yes. On that particular one, they had requested, work gear, champagne glass toast. Yeah. So we had like 5 cameras on us.
It was nice. We didn't have to think of all the details. They did a great job.
Yes. Nice. Yeah. And so next, I think you guys are gonna go off San Clemente Pier and jump off there, right? Is that what the next?
That would be another goal. I like that one. Yeah. And then get arrested afterwards. That's what would happen.
Well, that would be appropriate for 2020, right?
Yes.
A lot of crazy going on. So that's awesome. I love how you guys bring such a a professional approach, or you mix a professional approach with just this light, warm, friendly, feeling. When I met with you guys and just talked about some of the projects that we're doing together, there was never this, higher, you're not trying to be higher or mightier or holier than thou. You're just like, you're real people. You obviously do a great job and you're successful, but you don't let that get to your head where you're not able to have fun doing what you do.
Right.
We wouldn't do it if we couldn't be this dorky. I'm sorry.
I love it. And you have your sign behind you, and let's talk a little bit about that plant you have there.
So
this one?
That plant is from Tracy's house, and that has been in every single one of our listing.
We stage with this plant for some reason, and it ends up in every single listing photograph. So it's a good luck charm, I guess. I don't know.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
I feel like, do you guys split your commission with the plant at all?
There's actually 2 plants, and only one gets
attention.
Got it. Poor plant. So
That's hilarious.
I love it. You guys are doing some fun stuff, and I appreciate you guys being on the show today, and I'm excited to be doing some projects with you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Let's dive in. Give us some history. You guys both born and raised here. What's that look like for both of you? Were you transplants? What's the deal?
Yeah, well, I think too, not only am I married to Tracy's brother, but we're both from the San Fernando Valley. So we both kind of grew up the same time, right down the street from it. Well, a few miles away. And then we both moved down here in
kind of simultaneously.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. In 2002.
Yeah.
And we lived in Orange County, and we lived in, and then moved to San Clemente in 2002, 2003 or so.
Yeah. So we have very similar, I guess, upbringing, and experiences, because being that we both grew up in the San Fernando Valley, and then, obviously life in between, and then we both ended up in Orange County. So we've been here a long time.
Yeah.
I don't even know. It's been a long time.
Yeah, and if you've been in real estate, both of you have been in real estate in some capacity for a very long time as well.
Yeah,
absolutely. Right. So let's talk about your success. You have fun, but you know what you're doing and you do it well. Volume and if you want to talk about that, or just kind of how your team operates, can you shed some light on that?
Well, I have a great story. I mean, right when Tracy and I started in real estate, we were kind of thinking of, just doing it separately. But then right away we knew that we wanted to work together. But Tracy has this great story. Her first open house, she got a listing appointment, got the listing, and then from there, all of the open houses that we had done through that time, we got 6 transactions our first year.
All from that one meeting of one lady, and then it was awesome. It just turned into two transactions with each person selling their home and buying.
Right.
Nice.
So right at the beginning, it was more, our success was, meeting people at open houses and then just calling and stuff like that. But now most of our business is becoming, from our friends, our sphere, and then also just referrals or past clients. So 2020 is actually been a great year for us. We should be closing out over 13 million. So, and just since June, we have closed 10 transactions. We have 1 closing today. And woo, we're waiting for the call. What time is it?
Drum roll, please.
Congratulations.
And then 1 at the end of the month. And we'll see, we got some buyers in the pipeline. So 2020 is an interesting year for all.
Tons of changes, but we couldn't be more happy that it ended up working out okay for us. Very happy with that.
Right.
So.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine at first, in March, everybody was on the brakes, what's going on? What's going to happen? Right.
We closed 2 in March. And actually it was I think March 17th was the last one we closed. And then it was just, April was completely dead. All of the sellers that we were working with have put a hold on their listings. The buyers, we weren't sure showing wise, it was all on video. So, but then we had some leases come. We do leases. We had leases coming up, and then it just started the ball rolling with new listings and buyers coming in.
So closing out the year very, very well and very successful.
Yes. I mean, and that, the market is super hot. The interest rates are so low and there's no inventory. So we'll see,
Yeah. It's still going to be good to write offers. And if you can get the, lending, then you're good.
Yeah. I know that going into the end of the year, people might feel, or buyers or sellers might feel like, well, what's going to happen with the market? And based on the conversations I've had with agents, it looks like we're expected to continue to see it be a positive, real estate market.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, it's looking hot right now.
Yeah. And the only thing missing are inventory, really. So we have buyers and they're looking. And
so if you're looking to sell and you have a pool,
let them know, right? So is that something that, kind of just a side question to that, is that something, the inventory, is that something that you're seeing, builders try to meet that need, or is it just something that the market just naturally is going to increase home prices because of the low inventory?
Well, with the low rates, you have the buyers just wanting a home and low inventory. So all of the listings that we've had within the past few months, we've seen multiple offers and we've been under contract within just a few days. So that's what's driving the price up. I think on average, we have kind of a spreadsheet going of all of our, listings and buyers transactions. And we're right now on average 4% over list price on what we've sold for our listings. So just right there, that kind of shows the market is just hot.
Yeah.
And then in terms of kind of the way typically the end of the year unfolds, do you guys think that's going to be atypical this time because of the market being so hot? Because it seems like we almost, skipped a little bit of the down market in, I think, earlier in the year.
Right. Yeah. You know what? They say that election years are slow or different. But this one, obviously, there's a lot of different things going on and it's been hot. I don't, my personal opinion, foresee that this is going to slow down. I think the demand will continue after the new year too. But I don't have a magic ball.
Especially where you guys are at. I mean, the area there, obviously San Clemente and Talega are such key areas. I mean, I've been there several times, and I love Talega. I think it's such a unique spot, and it's very affordable compared a lot to where we're along the coast in Carlsbad, and so it's just cool to see those areas start to develop, and it's interesting to see what's going to happen in the end of this year and kind of how the market's going to go. But I agree. I think the market's going to continue to be hot. I just had a conversation with a family in the park not too long ago, and a lot of Bay Area families are moving down to San Diego, because they don't have to be in the office or at the in a building now, and so they're like, well, why am I going to spend $1 million or or $5 million in the Bay Area for a small property where I can come down here in San Diego, beautiful location, or up in Orange County, and be like, hey, this is almost like, for them it's heaven, it's heaven sent, right?
Yeah, we've noticed that too.
So we've just moved in a Bay Area family up to Mission Viejo, and then we're working with some people from Ojai, or we closed for people in Ojai that came down, and Camarillo. So yeah, definitely seeing everybody wanting to get closer to the beach. I mean, you're either in San Clemente, closer to the beach, and even if you are in Talega, it's only 3 miles away from the beach. So it's just,
yeah.
You can't beat it. People, like you mentioned, in those dense populated areas right now with all this chaos and COVID and everything, what we're hearing over and over is get me out of here before the election. I need out. And so that's kind of what's happening. And they want to be in a community where there's a little more space. And a lot of our focal like clients and listings have been in Talega. I mean, we work all of Orange County, but Talega's, it seems like there's a lot of people coming to this area.
Well, you have more space, right?
I'm sorry?
You have more space in Talega, I think, versus more ocean properties. But I will say, look, like Talega is close. Like literally every time I'm driving to Orange County and going through the area and we need something for the girls or my wife, we go, hey, let's just go to Target. We go up to Talega. It takes like 5 minutes to get there.
Yeah.
So it's super close to the beach. I think, which is why another reason why so many people like to move there as well.
Absolutely.
You know,
hiking and all that stuff that we're all doing so much of right now, hiking and biking, it's all there.
Outdoors, yeah, for sure.
So you guys both exude this passion, this excitement for what you do. What's the origin of that for both of you?
Oh my. Well, I think we're both just kind of upbeat individuals to begin with, but I mean, how do we
coffee?
Yeah. Well, coffee doesn't hurt, of course. And then at the end of the day, a glass of wine doesn't hurt either. But no, and I'm like, music pumps me up, and dancing. We're both into music and dancing like crazy.
Nice.
We basically, if you sang a song, it would click in our heads the same verse, and we'd both blurt out the same line. I swear. And I don't know, coffee, yoga.
Yeah. Definitely, working out and starting the day off right.
Nice. And then how does that like translate into real estate? So what makes you passionate about real estate?
I think it's I've always personally been the kind of person who likes to kind of put people together. I kind of feel like a matchmaker, and I'm doing that with families and properties, or we're doing that with family and properties, and I just get such a joy from that. So that is a good, I don't know, that's how I feel.
And we love passing off that key to the buyers.
Yes.
Or, for sellers, I love when we get in multiple offers and, kind of put together that spreadsheet, going through everything and just seeing the look on their faces like, oh my gosh, just making our clients happy. And like Tracy said, finding them that home and matchmaking is just the best feeling in the world.
And I know.
And all of the paperwork is awesome. No, I know. I like the paperwork, which is weird.
She's loco.
Wait, are you serious? Oh, you were serious. Wow.
She really does.
Oh my goodness.
I'll type it up.
Like, you don't have paperwork. I love it.
Yeah, but I don't know. And it also feels good. I know that I love, and I think you share this, like, obviously, we love that we can get them through it, and it's a huge decision, and we just love that they trust us, and then we always become really good friends afterwards, and we just adore our clients. Yes. We're so lucky.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the people, right? It's the people.
It is absolutely the people.
And I think, without a doubt, it's apparent for you in your business and for each other, right? So like you said, you guys are in the business really because of each other, and having that teamwork, having that camaraderie and support for each other translates directly into how you service your clients.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's not common. Even if you have a partnership with somebody, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a good one, or it's one that's enjoyable, right? I know a lot of real estate agents who have partnerships, and it's just like it functions, but is it functioning at a high level?
Right.
Functional fun.
I like that.
Functional fun.
What's your tagline again? Or you guys were saying?
Oh God,
which one? I mean, the one I give my kids all the time is "Get it done." More time to have fun, and I think that's what we do. Like, we get it done. And we have fun doing it.
We have fun. Tracy and I, we both came from corporate backgrounds, so we're definitely professional, and we get it done. But along the way, we are having fun. We're singing songs, and yeah.
Oh, you have to, and I think if you don't take the time to enjoy the journey, then real estate can burn you out pretty quickly.
Yes, yes. There's been definite times where it's just
We have
to kind of shimmy through that transaction.
And that's a whole other insight.
Get it done. Let's get it done. Get the clients happy.
I'm gonna get my real estate license to hang out with you guys.
Well, there you go.
We like hanging out.
No, I mean, look, I want to make sure that I appreciate you being genuine and authentic on the show, and also let people know you guys get it done. So even though you're happy and having fun, doesn't mean that you're not great real estate agents. I mean, people sometimes are scared to show I'm an actual person, even though I'm an agent, because they feel like somehow the client or the homeowner is going to judge them as not being professional enough. But I would say that quite honestly, the opposite is true, where you're able to, build rapport with them better. You're able to stand out, much more because you're you, and no one can be you but you.
Aww.
And I like that you attract your vibe is your tribe, your vibe, so I kind of feel like that goes with our clients. I mean, they sense our vibe, and I guess they become our tribe.
I mean, everybody knows real estate agents. You just want to be, work with somebody that you trust and you like, and, get it through. So we've been very fortunate to work with, new people that we meet along the way who have become friends, and then our friends who trust us to list their property or find them property. It's been very rewarding.
Now, what is also important is mindset, right? So in life, I mean, just a life aside from a career and profession has a lot to do, so your success in life has a lot to do with mindset. So can we talk a little bit about, we don't have to go into detail or too deep, but just kind of what is your mindset every day? How do you guys wake up? How do you make sure that you aren't paying attention to the negativity and focus more on the positive, and still able to be aware of some potential dangers that might come up for your clients, so you're aware of what's going on, but you're not revolving your whole life around the negative?
Right. I like to wake up very early. I have a morning routine, and when I follow it, it definitely gets me in that right mindset. I listen to the 5 a.m. Club. It's on Facebook. If anybody wants, information on that, send me. But it's just some motivational inspiration,
Yes.
Just a few minutes in the morning, and then writing in my journal, reading a little bit, and then working out. If I do not get a workout in or a walk in,
Sure.
I really think that clears your mind. Mm-hmm. And I know Tracy has been yoga, and just that
yoga is good for me. It just sets my mind straight, and it gets through the noise, and I feel like it just puts me in a real straight, positive mindset. And then if I need to, if there's too much world stuff going on, I just turn off the news completely, and I don't watch that for a while.
Yeah,
right.
It's been good. And then just, going and then starting the day, especially if it's a busy day, and there's a lot of things that happen in a transaction that sometimes, our clients don't see, but we're big on communication. So whether it's good news or bad news, we want to let our clients know right away. And I think just kind of starting the day off with a clear head, here's what we need to do, here's what we need to communicate, kind of get that all done, and then move on to the next.
For sure. I think it's very important that you never assume in real estate, and we never assume that anyone knows what the next part is, or
Sure.
I feel like we're constantly maybe overly communicating, but I think our clients like that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I would say most people would prefer you to over communicate than under communicate, right? Or even just communicate at an adequate level.
Yeah. Right.
Makes them feel important, makes them feel like you're doing your job, right? You're helping them, you're guiding them. So that's great. That's great. And then do you guys feel like that kind of translates into your family life as well? Like you're able to you know, once you have that mindset for your day, it helps not just your professional life, but your you know, your family and home life as well.
Oh, 100%, 100%. Just clear mind, focus. And then, you know, you're like my kids, well, my kids are a little older, but you know, they see you kind of in that mindset. You're going to work, you know, you're getting it done. I think they see that and feed off that.
That's important. That's important. They're so, you know, I think that's good that they see me go and work out at the gym or do yoga or just try to keep my head straight. So I think that's important to build.
Yeah, because they're gonna do that too. They're gonna model that at some point as well. And you want them to have a balanced life, and you want them to have a good, healthy. You know, mental health is important, right? And so, especially right now, I think a lot of us can get overwhelmed or can get. You know, I'll be honest. I miss the interaction. That was a big part of who I am. Is just even, you know, I come from a family culture where I'm constantly, you know, hugging people and kissing on the cheek. And so for me, it's hard to say like, oh, I would not miss, you know, the interaction, because I would. I mean, it's such a big part of who I am, and thank God for Zoom and you know, FaceTime and stuff like that. Because at minimum, like you and I, meaning you two and I, can connect here. And even though we're not in person, it still feels very much, you know, it fuels my fire. It feels like who I am, which is like connecting with people as well.
And I think with this whole, you know, with COVID going, one thing that Tracy and I were talking about is just we've FaceTime. I never used to FaceTime, and now like I just, instead of calling, I'll FaceTime. I call it a face bomb. I'll like, you know, call and see. Oh, you ready to pick up now? I don't look good.
Oh my God. I actually had a client that I called during this, because, you know, you start to miss people, and we have transacted with them 3 times, and they're now in Oregon. And I called, and they actually picked up, and they were still in bed. It was hysterical. I was like, you guys really didn't catch me. We're good.
Yeah, and you're probably all apologetic because you feel bad. You're like, wait, you didn't have to answer if you were ready.
I'm like, no, but you want to see the face. You know, you want to see their face. And,
That's awesome. So I know we're talking a little bit about the current situation. Like, how have you guys worked through this COVID situation?
Yeah, like for
lots of Clorox wipes and masks.
Yeah, we're good at cleaning. Let's say that.
Yes.
And then I would say, you know, like we talked about the FaceTime, we have a lot of clients that are from out of area. And so one thing that's kind of been good is that if as an agent, I can get into the home and they're afar and they can't travel, at least we can FaceTime them while at the property and show them and see if it's of interest for them to make plans to come or drive.
And then with the listings we had, you know, it was a little at the beginning, we were not quite sure how this was all going to work. You know, we can't have open houses.
Yeah.
But what we were able to do, especially with the low inventory, I mean, everybody wants to see the properties. So we were just able to schedule showings throughout the day and then clean in between. And that's been good. It's been fine.
And then the other thing is we got even more invested in going and taking video footage with our phones and then building videos and, you know, distributing what we put together either on our listing or to a buyer who is looking.
Yeah, a lot more video.
Yeah.
That's why we're with you, David.
Well, of course, I'm a fan of that. But again, too, like I'm also, as you guys know, you've been on the webinars that I've been giving, and it's like, if you can use your phone to help sell your property, use it. Like, I'm not saying you need to hire our team to do it every time. It's just, how are you incorporating video in your day-to-day, in your weekly routine, so people can see what you're doing and how you're doing it. More than ever, that's what people want now, especially because, you know, watch time has increased dramatically this year. You know, YouTube is back to, you know, being #1 in terms of where people go to watch videos, because now people are like, oh, I have this, I'm here, let me go watch some video. You know, and obviously Facebook is becoming almost predominantly video as well. So it's video is just the way, like I always say, it's the language of our time, right? And so and you can't stay silent. Otherwise your voice and your story will be lost. And so taking your phone and filming what you guys are doing this year has been awesome to watch. Obviously your pool party, your pool plunge was pretty cool. And so, just keep that up. That's awesome. I'm proud of you guys for doing that.
Yeah, and this is our first podcast, so hopefully you kind of got the ball rolling, and
maybe there'll be more.
Yeah.
Maybe our own podcast.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, look, I'm a huge believer in that because it's video, but then you can obviously connect it to a podcast like we have, and so you're putting out more content. And a lot of times people think it's a saturated market podcast, but it's not. It's just that the people who are doing it, a lot of it, and then marketing it. The people who, I think I forget the stats on it, but in real estate, it's like less than 1 or 5% that people are actually doing it.
Wow.
And so I'm happy that you guys are open to discussing that with me, because I think you guys would do great as podcast hosts.
Thank
right.
you.
Well, it's again, the Dina and Tracy show.
I'm pretty sure we'll have fun.
Well, you have the mic now. You have a
yes, we got our mic.
Yes. So I think whether you like it or not, you're going to do it. So.
Oh, there we go.
You heard it here, folks.
Yes.
No, but I'm excited about that. Now, as you're going through real estate, and you've learned a lot, you've experienced a lot. What is some advice you would give maybe a new realtor or someone coming into the industry?
Well, definitely align yourself with a good mentor or manager. I know that if we didn't align ourselves with our manager, Gavin Masters, he's helped us with so many things, navigating through negotiations and just marketing stuff. And without him, I know we wouldn't be like where we were today, especially that first year. He really kind of propelled us into, being a dynamic team.
Yeah.
So, and then
I think it's important also to align yourself with a like-minded company, a company that has the same level of service that you give, and that's why we're so happy to be with Pacific Sotheby's, and that was a good match for us.
Definitely.
And with them, we feel we have the resources that we need and the support we need, and we enjoy the other individuals who work in our office, and it just feels like a team. I don't want to be, against people. I want to feel like we're bringing each other up, and it's a team.
The team, and a lot of agents, that we're inspired by, that work within the company.
We look up to.
Yes.
And I think that was another thing. We were like, this seems right because I look up to that individual and they work there. And so it felt right.
Nice.
Good fit.
Yeah, that's great.
So find your good fits, find a good mentor or manager.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. I love that. Just kind of wrapping up here a little bit. I know you guys have a few appointments you got to get to, and I appreciate you guys both being on the show today. But just real quick, like, where do you guys see yourselves in the next, 5 years?
I think definitely continuing to grow our business and to grow our clientele and to continue providing such great support. And I know that we both would like to invest in properties ourselves.
Okay.
So maybe that's something in the next 5 years we want to see for ourselves.
Yeah.
Investing in properties.
Nice. Well,
more pool.
There you go. That's a big point. More pool properties.
More pool properties. You got to buy the domain.
More pool
properties, or pool plunge realtors.
Pool plunge.
Okay, done.
.com. Create a whole niche around it.
Got it.
We'll like travel the world with pool plunge realtors.
Yeah.
It's a new show, a reality TV show.
You can tie in your podcast to that. You can open up your podcast with the sound of you guys jumping in the pool.
Oh, that's done. I like that.
Well, you guys are awesome. I have your Facebook up here right now. People can see like obviously the URL here. So is that the best place for them to connect with you guys if somebody's watching or listening, wanting to connect with you?
Yes, right now we're working on our website. So until then, the Facebook page, Dina and Tracy, is the way to find out more info on us and give us a call.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you both so much. I'm excited to.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'm excited to be working with you guys on your couple of projects here. I think it's not just going to be a great product for you guys, but we're going to have a great time. So we're all looking forward to it here, at videosalesrealestate.com. And so thank you for that. Thank you for being on the show.
Okay, bye.
See you.